Touchdown! His first NFL touchdown.
3rd and 8 at the 9. They can get a first down. They don't need a touchdown. They hand off Montgomery, blasting up the middle. Montgomery spinning into the end zone for the touchdown. Touchdown Bears.
Corey Nando and Friends, presented by Mayo Media.
Yes. Hello. Welcome to the show. Good times. Shout out to the Commanders and Bears Radio Network. Big game tonight, Corey. Big game tonight.
Definitely interesting game tonight. Now you say, well, how's this interesting? Is two of the bottom teams in the NFC, and the NFC is not the better conference. Well, it's interesting because you got this bombshell report with Dan Snyder today, with him saying that, basically saying, come for me if you want to, try to take this franchise from me if you want to. Yeah. I got dirt on everybody, including Roger Goodell. You know what I'm saying? You got that. You got Ron Rivera earlier this week throwing the quarterback under the bus.
Oh, that was amazing. That was amazing.
If I was Carson Wentz, I'd have been like, bro, you was brought here to fix the defense. The defense is dead last every year. You know what I'm saying?
And you got the best defensive player in the league. And you got Chase Young.
Yeah, and what he's not developed yet. Let's put that on you too, Ron, since you want to start pointing fingers. You know what I'm saying? Now, mind you, Ron, every quarterback that has been in Washington, you brought him there. You know what I'm saying? You got full control of the organization. So you can point about the quarterback, but who brought him here? You know what I'm saying? So you had that situation.
Did you hear his walk?
You got to command a team who's against the wall. Backs are against the wall. Then they come out fighting and win the game tonight.
Look, I mean, when you look at these two teams, and whether it's from a fantasy point of view or like a real football point of view, I'm actually – so the other day when I was researching N'Keal Harry and where he can get targets in this offense – like, if you go down the offense and you look at the receivers they have, it's not as bad as, I mean, I don't know what's like, maybe it's Fields. I don't think it's Fields. I like Fields. I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator. I don't know if it's the play calling or what, but they got some good, they got talent, man. They do it. They got a pretty good talent.
Washington's a more talented team than Chicago is. Fields is either not a franchise quarterback or he's not being coached right. It's probably a little bit of both. You know what I'm saying? I think they swung and missed on Fields. Anytime you're that scared that you let the kid throw the ball 10 times a game, it's probably a problem there. Now you got that situation. The coaching staff, the GM, they changed organizations. They've made mistakes.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at a situation in Chicago where they missed on the quarterback, and they're going to have to clean it up in a couple years from now. That's going to be tough.
They want to years.
Do you go back in already? You give them 2 years, or give them one more year before you go back in. People are going to lose their job. You know what I'm saying?
Like it took a little. Well, they already did. Yeah, this isn't the new regime's quarterback. This is the Ryan Pace era draft pick, right?
Yeah.
Look, just listen to this. Darnell Mooney, who I think he's got talent. People liked him a lot. Equinemius St. Brown, second on the team in targets with 13. So Darnell Mooney has 21 targets on the season. 21 targets, 10 receptions. He's the team leader with 10 receptions, the only person with double-digit receptions.
That should go to show you they're not throwing the football because they're scared of the quarterback. They're scared of the quarterback. You know, if they had Trevor Lawrence, he would have, you know what I'm saying? He would have targets, receptions. Even if they had that stiff Russell Wilson, same thing. They think that this guy can't play. So they're hiding him. And they're trying to have him run the football, Montgomery run the football, Herbert run the football, and that's how they're going to want to base their offense. If they do that tonight, right, they're going to lose because Washington can stop the run. And Washington got better playmakers on offense than them. Big night. I would jock market Carson Wentz tonight.
Come on, man. This guy finds ways to beat himself constantly. Do you think he's going to come out and he's going to be like, I'm motivated now, man. Like, my quarterback. He said quarterback.
Carson Wentz got more passing yards than Carson Wentz is not the problem in Washington. Yeah, we make fun of Carson Wentz. He throw interceptions and stuff like that. He's not the problem. It starts at the top, then it goes to the coach. Ron Rivera's not doing a good job at all this year. Look at Ron Rivera's record. He won Super Bowl. Okay. Ron Rivera in 11 seasons of being NFL head coach, he had 3 seasons that he has a winning record. his time in Washington has been a disaster, a complete disaster. Everybody said, "Oh, he's such a nice man." Okay, you hear nice man, but he talk trash every day, right? So now he's open to have trash talk about him. He's not getting it done. So as long as Rivera's not getting it done, you know what I'm saying? Snyder is tied up with his situation. It just comes all the way downhill. But to be honest, the offense has played well so far this year. They haven't got the wins. They've had their mistakes. But listen, the last 2 games, they've had 20 penalties for almost 300 yards. Who's that?
Is Antonio Gibson just a complete drop now for you? I mean, it seems like Brian Robinson shows up like, "Hey guys, I'm here," and I was like, "All right, you're a starter now. Go ahead."
I wouldn't drop him. You know what I'm saying, for a running back that was shot earlier this year. You never know how that could go. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? He could still be a little bit injured. You got to get out there and see what's going on. I'm not sure what his situation is. If he's like 50 Cent, where it's still bullet shrapnel in him, whatever the case may be.
Right.
But the bottom line of the matter is this. Gibson's still there. I wouldn't cut him. Now you got to worry about playing him, but I guarantee you can play Carson Wentz every week. Carson Wentz is a QB, is a top 12 fantasy, is a fantasy QB1 right now.
That's actually a very bold statement you're making.
How is that a bold statement?
Carson Wentz sucks, man.
Carson Wentz is QB8 on the season.
On the season so far.
Yeah. He's QB8.
I think we're going to see
better than Justin Herbert, better than Kirk Cousins, better than Derek Carr, Tom Brady, Trevor Lawrence, Russell Wilson. There's nothing wrong with Carson Wentz. It's something wrong with the organization. And I'm not a Carson Wentz guy.
He wasn't good last year, right? I mean, they drove him out of Indy.
Everybody sucks in Indianapolis.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're onto something there. Hold on. Now, wait a second.
Phil Rivers sucked there. You know what I'm saying? Last year, Carson Wentz was throwing the ball with his left hand out there last year. That situation was horrible. Listen, I understand that it is cool, it's trendy, it's fun to make fun and point the finger at Carson Wentz. Yeah. I've made a career doing so. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when you look at Carson Wentz this season and going into tonight's game, Carson Wentz is clearly the best player on the field tonight. It's not the Bears quarterback. He stinks.
That's so weird that Justin Fields stinks. Like, I know people were saying this about Jalen Hurts early on too. Now look what he's become.
Yeah, that's true.
But I mean, like this, I don't know, man.
Sure, Air Force Base is not too far from here.
Yeah.
And they must be doing like some testing because it sounds like an F-15 is flying over my house.
Look out the window. We'll take a break.
When we take a break, I'm going to go outside and make sure nothing going down. But it's like loud military airplanes flying over my head.
That sounds pretty cool. You'll miss them because from what I understand, they go and then the sound comes like 5 seconds later.
Oh yeah, you don't even.
Yeah, you don't look at that big plane.
It's like,
and
it's just like loud. It's real loud.
Yeah. All right, so just bear with me on this Bears thing because I didn't actually mean to say
I'm bearing with you right now. Justin Fields is quarterback 25. Yeah, bear with me on the Bears. I got it.
I bet you could finish as quarterback 15. I bet you has a good second, third.
Well, look at the people he got to jump. Baker Mayfield, Matthew Stafford, Matt Ryan, Ryan Tannehill, Tua, Aaron Rodgers. Hey, Aaron, speaking of which, Carson Wentz is having a better year than Aaron Rodgers.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers, man, they took away his toys, basically. They took away his Equanimous St. Brown.
Carson Wentz got McLaurin and Diami Brown.
And Curtis Samuel.
So
and JD McKissick.
Okay. So the Bears don't have weapons. That's the thing now. Everybody draft Darnell Mooney in fantasy.
And Jahan Dotson. Yeah.
Washington got everybody draft Darnell. Darnell Mooney was drafted before all of these dudes except for McLaurin.
I think people just thought, like, all right, fine. This is like a new Luke Getsy era. We finally got rid of that mess before. And now it's time to fly. And it's going to be Justin Fields coming into his own in year 2. But I mean, I wonder, like, Allen Robinson, big time bust with the Bears, obviously. And everyone's like, oh, he's finally going to the Rams where he's going to take off. Maybe Allen Robinson was what we thought Allen Robinson was. Maybe, I don't know, Carson Wentz leaving Indianapolis where Matt Ryan's floundering in the same way. There's too many moving pieces here. Yeah.
That guy, whatever, Schwarzenegger or whatever, he is getting more looks than Allen Robinson in the games. Now look at Justin Fields' numbers. I'm not an anti-Justin Fields guy. I just like to tell the truth about people. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
and let's this guy's.
It might not be his fault if you're saying you can only throw this many times per game. Like that's not. They did that to Geno Smith last year.
My guess is
he first replaced.
They're
Russell
not
Wilson.
letting him throw because they're scared. I'm pretty sure in today's modern NFL, if you're not letting your quarterback throw the football, trust me, it's not because we think we got this dynamic run game. No, Javon, I don't want to hear because he doesn't have weapons. Darnell Mooney is there. There's
Velus Jones Jr.
Mac Jones is throwing to N'Keal Harry and Jacoby Myers.
N'Keal Harry's on the Bears. He just got activated.
And whoever, there's a bunch of stiffs that these dudes are throwing to all over the league. It's quarterbacks throwing the stiffs. You got Cooper Rush throwing to Noah Brown a couple of weeks ago. You know what I'm saying? It's not that he don't have weapons. They don't trust him to throw the football. That's the bottom line. They see him in practice, and they're like, this guy can't hit the side of a barn.
Did Cooper Kupp practice today?
Today is Thursday. Kupp might have had a limited practice.
He didn't practice yesterday.
Look at Daniel Jones getting the job done. Daniel Jones ain't got no weapons. Daniel Jones throwing the dudes that only Nando like.
Richard James.
Justin Fields completions. I mean, Justin Fields, the last 2 weeks, they let him throw the ball over 20 times. The last 2 weeks, he did have his best game of the season in a losing effort to the Minnesota Vikings on the road. Today, and the last time he was at home was versus the Houston Texans. He was 8 of 17 for 106 passing yards. 106 passing yards in 2022.
What are you going to do with that, though, man? I mean, like, triple that, he would have had 363 passing yards and 6 touchdowns.
If he would have thrown the ball 40-something times?
Hold on. Let's double that. Hold on. Wait, I was looking wrong. Let's double that. So let's say he threw the ball 34 times. Is that
okay?
Fair?
They would have lost that game. If he would have thrown the ball 34 times, he'd have probably threw 3 interceptions.
242 yards and 4 touchdowns, though, if you want to play that game. And he still ran 11 times. The next game, he threw 11 times. Triple that. How about that? Triple that. He would have had 210 yards, still 0 touchdowns.
They're trying to make the Bears game plan is to run Fields. They want him to make short throws, easy throws. There's no explosive plays in the Bears offense.
They're gonna ruin, man. They're gonna ruin Fields. He's gonna be on Geno Smith. He's gonna be Geno Smith 2.0. He's gonna pop back up in 11 years and be like, "Hey, I told you that was awesome, but you guys just kind of screwed me."
Well, he has to learn how to play the quarterback position first.
Remember that time you started Trevor Siemian for the last 6 games of the season, and let him throw 40 times a game?
Trevor Siemian can probably throw the football. Like everything here,
wasn't he great? I don't know. I don't know his college career. I assume he was really good. He was the 11th.
He was good at Ohio. He was good at Ohio State.
He was good at Ohio, wasn't he? Like, didn't he?
Here's the thing. Ohio State quarterbacks suck when they get to the pros. They always do.
But he was really technically a Georgia quarterback, wasn't he?
Justin Fields was. And he's not. And Stetson Bennett, you know what I'm saying?
That's our guy.
Our guy Stetson Bennett done a better job than him.
He finished 7th in high school.
He probably would have had the gig over Stetson Bennett though. But they got him. He got to Ohio State. He ran that offense. He did well. Ohio State is not a place. It's not a quarterback factory. You know what I'm saying? You had him, Haskins, God rest his soul. You got the kids. I don't trust no Ohio State quarterback.
I don't know. I don't know.
No, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I feel bad. And then he got drafted before Mac Jones. Mac is a better player than Justin Fields is.
Round 1, pick 11, 2021.
Mm-hmm.
By the Chicago Bears.
You knew it was a mistake then.
He was the 2-time Graham George Offensive Player of the Year, 2-time first team All Big Ten, second team All American in 2019. He passed the ball. I don't know, college career. Let's see. This is going to take too long. I'm on his Wikipedia page now. Hold on. Where's Jalen when we need it? Terrell Pryor was wide receiver.
I mean, he was an Ohio State quarterback.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sure there's got to be someone.
Devon.
Oh, you know why? This is probably all Urban. This is all Urban Meyer's
says
fault.
Mac Jones is a game manager, right?
He's right.
He took the team to the playoffs last year. He managed them all the way to the playoffs in his rookie season.
Josh Fields threw it 300.
Why they don't even let Justin Fields throw?
Justin Fields. Who's Josh Fields? The baseball player, the pitcher. 15 years ago. Justin Fields threw 354 times, 225 times in 8 games in 2020. So what's that out to? That's almost 30 throws a game. What's 14 to 354?
He was well, that's in college. Last season in the NFL,
I'm just saying he could throw.
Again, he was pitiful last year in the NFL. Completion percentage under 60.
He had 41 passing touchdowns in 2019.
He had 7 last year.
And 3 interceptions.
Last year in the NFL, he had 7 passing touchdowns and 10 interceptions.
I don't know, man.
What is this thing with why does everybody want to be in love with Justin Fields? Like, why is everybody
I just want the guy to get a shot.
Justin Fields?
I just wanted him to get a shot.
He started every game last year. He got a shot. He stunk.
0, 2, 7. Hold on. I'm averaging half.
Every game this year. Change the coaching staff, bring him in there. So next year, go trade for A.J. Brown and bring A.J. Brown in there and see what he looked like with A.J. Brown. Since he don't got no weapons now. All right, so let's give him another year. Let's give him another year. Now, why you're going to finish at the bottom of the NFL this year, and then you're going to have dudes like Will Levis come off the board that you can use to replace Fields. You're going to have dudes like my man Bryce Young. Yeah, you come on now. You got dudes. I wouldn't do C.J. Stroud. I wouldn't go with another Ohio State quarterback. You already made that mistake once.
I don't know if it's a mistake yet. I think the mistake is who's Luke Getsy and why is he doing this to him?
It's everybody else's fault. It's not Justin Fields' fault.
I'm just saying,
you're killing me.
We're being mean. We're being unnecessarily mean to a guy who, like, you can't judge a guy who's only throwing 11 times a game, basically.
No, Nando, what I'm saying is there's a reason they're only letting him throw the ball 11 times a game.
I understand that part too. But it could just be dumb, like football coach, where our running is our strength, you know?
Yeah. No, I don't think that's it. I think in today's NFL, you got to throw the football. But if you're throwing the football, it's going to cause you to lose.
I don't know. The guy, he didn't throw interceptions in college.
Well, he thrown them in the league this year.
I'm with Javon on this one.
He got 3 touchdown passes and 4 interceptions.
I mean, you get a guy out of a rhythm, and you're like, hey, you're going to throw these 11 specific times. And I'm sure it's not helping that they're not getting first downs. You know what I mean? Like they're not actually getting the chances if you're going to be such a terrible offense. You know, if maybe within N'Keal Harry in there tonight, he gets 11 targets and 80 yards, and that's maybe 7 to 8 first downs that he adds.
Now, one of the things you say when a quarterback, his average 7 yards per pass. That's normally when the quarterback is on the downside of their career.
Yeah.
His career didn't even start yet.
But it's kind of like if I told you can only talk for 15 minutes every show, right? Like you can't get into a flow. You can't. I mean, that's not fair.
You're right, but like if you can tell the talent, you be like, well, he's too talented to only be talking for 15 minutes. This guy, they was like, he's not talented enough to talk for 15 minutes.
Maybe
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, maybe that's maybe. I mean, yeah.
Listen, I could be wrong, but when do you? So what do you do? How do you fix him? You bring in another coaching staff, and then you go trade and bring in some wide receivers. That's how you fix them.
I think they bring in an 80-year-old game manager, and everything will be fine. That's my step one. I have no idea.
This guy can call plays. Yeah, Javon, you so smart. Call in and let us know how to fix it. You know what I'm saying? How do you fix Justin Fields? You know
Hit the call button, Javon.
Hit the call button. Let me know how to fix Justin Fields. Everybody want to root for Justin Fields. I'm just telling y'all the truth about the player. I don't have no dog in this fight. I'm not a Chicago Bear fan. I don't root for the monsters of the Midway. You know what I'm saying? I'm not an Ohio State Buckeye guy. I'm just saying, why are we protecting? We talk about every other quarterback that stinks. Why can't we tell the truth about Justin Fields?
Because look, if Justin Fields was throwing 35 times a game and he sucked and he was still doing like 112 and 2 interceptions, like, yeah, then I'd be like, this guy sucks. But give the guy a shot.
I don't even want no Justin Fields cards. No reason to have them. No reason to have them.
Those are probably doing poorly.
Yeah, what Justin Fields ones?
Yeah.
then they probably Justin Fields. I guarantee you, Justin Fields. Look at a Justin Fields Prism PSA 10. It may not even be $200. The base one. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It would probably won't even be $200 for a PSA 10 for a dude that was drafted a year and a half ago. His PSA
and
10
his cards actually. These cards
nothing.
22. Excuse me for a moment. 2021 Panini Prism Justin Fields rookie PSA 10 gem. You want to guess? There's an or best offer involved in here too.
$185.
$69.99.
$70. Come on now. $70 for a PSA 10, for a Prism PSA 10 for a quarterback that was drafted 16 months ago. It doesn't make
what do you think?
Come on now.
Yo, should I bid 50 and see if the guy accepts the offer?
You wanted Justin. That's actually not a bad price. In case he does turn it around.
Let's see what happens.
You can get Justin Fields on the bargain bin.
I don't think this guy will accept it
for $70. Come on, bro.
We might be able to get him for $50 plus $3 shipping. It's a sponsored post, so the dude's obviously trying to get rid of it.
He's trying to get rid of it.
More. 2021 Panini Prism rookie PSA 10 gem. All right, there's nothing wrong with that, right?
No, it's the top Justin Fields card on the market outside of National Treasures, which that's going to cost you a couple. The National Treasures, obviously, the flawless, the encase, that's going to be expensive. But your basic stuff that you can tell a player's value on, Prism PSA 10, $70 for a quarterback playing in a major market.
Oh, this one's $69.95 plus make an offer. Should I get two? I'm gonna make him a $50. What's the worst case scenario? Is to get two PSA 10 Justin Fields cards for $100.
That's actually not a bad deal. I might go do it myself when the show is over.
I can't do anymore. This is I gotta stop. My American Express bill, the recycle starts in 5 days. So
yeah, okay.
I've been kind of like batting the hatches. Yeah, I'm like, okay,
now you gotta tighten the belt at the end. Yeah,
we don't need to unnecessarily spend all like. What am I gonna do? I'm all this talk like, oh, this card's gonna be worth so much more. Yeah. No, I never sell it. It's gonna go up to $75. All right, I'm in.
That's it.
And Keel Harry's gonna turn around his fortunes. And Velus Jones Jr., the reinforcements have arrived.
All right, Velus Jones. All right, okay.
Let me tell you what, man. This is my problem. Is that last year I was so Geno Smith is going to be great behind Russell Wilson. He never got a shot, blah, blah, blah. The same Geno Smith argument I've been shouting forever.
Yeah, no doubt.
He comes in, and I think his first game, they let him throw the ball 19 times. 19 times. And that was the game, I think, at the end where he lost the ball on the fumble. And then I think the next game, they let him throw 23 times. Like, what's going on here? And I went back and I looked, and they had only let Russell Wilson was not throwing a lot of attempts. He was very efficient, but he wasn't throwing a lot. So all I'm saying is I've seen this happen before, and it's, dumb. They let Geno Smith throw a lot, and look what he's doing. He's like the talk of the town.
But it's much different scenario.
Well, yeah, obviously.
He's learned the system well. He's playing with no pressure. You know what I'm saying? He's out there to go out there and let it win. You know what I'm saying? Nothing crazy is going on around Smith to where he can't let it happen. Okay,
we got a guest.
I see we have a guest. We got to get him up here. I got something for him too. But we actually do have something that we discussed. So I'm glad he's coming up. But how you doing, Javon? Oh my goodness.
I'm doing good.
Back to the show, man.
I'm doing good. How are y'all doing?
I'm very glad to have you here.
Javon, you don't have one fantasy team, dynasty or nothing, with Justin Fields on it. You know that Justin Fields has been a dog so far in the NFL. You cannot sit up here and defend Justin Fields' performances.
But look at his situation the last 2 years. He had a head coach in Matt Nagy who pretty much didn't know how to call no plays for him. And he rotated like 3 different quarterbacks in last season. Remember that. It was Trubisky, Nick Foles, Fields, and then he kept on playing roulette with him. And then you look at this season, he doesn't really have a strong offensive line, unlike Mac Jones did. He had the first time play caller in Luke Getsy.
Okay.
Who's a quarterback coach, by the way. He was a quarterback coach. Quarterback coach in Green Bay. Mac Jones had Josh McDaniels and Bill Belichick.
And Mac Jones had
and Matt Patricia.
Yeah, but look how he's doing with Mac Patricia right now.
Right now he got a high ankle sprain.
When he was healthy,
he was throwing a lot of interceptions. But the last time we saw him, he was letting Baltimore have it until, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody lets Baltimore have it. I get it. You know what I mean?
Right.
You can't compare the two situations. As a quarterback, as a rookie, took his team to the playoffs. Justin Fields, so let's just say last season was coaching malpractice, right? Okay, last season was malpractice. It was. You come back this season, you got games where you threw the ball 11 times. Javon, they see him in practice, and they're like, this guy can't play. We let him throw the ball 25, 30 times, we're going to lose the game. His attempts have gone up the past couple of weeks. I don't hear nothing about his weapons. He is not, they made a mistake.
Come on, man. His weapons are trash, man. Come on.
Mac Jones' weapons trash. Mac Jones
he's got Devontae Parker. He's got Nelson Aguilar.
He even had a better tight end. Hunter Henry's better tight end than Cole Kmet.
They don't even use Hunter Henry.
But still, last season, Hunter Henry had like 9 touchdowns inside the red zone, and then even if you look at the running game, way better running game. Ramondre Stevenson, Damian Harris, way better than David Montgomery and Khalil Herbert.
But the thing about it is, and Mac Jones is a better player too. We leaving that.
Oh, come on, man. He was 22. He was 20. He had 22 touchdowns and 14 interceptions. Come on, man.
Fields had 7 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. That's a high school quarterback. No disrespect to high school. No disrespect to high school quarterbacks.
You disrespecting the high school quarterbacks now. Come on, you can't do that.
I'm not trying to be nice to the high school quarterbacks, but I don't want to hear anything about what's your boy name? About Justin Fields being able to play. Like he's been hindered in his development. Okay, yes, last season his development was hindered with coaching malpractice. But
it's hindered right now. It's hindered right now.
Him pro because he ain't got no weapons. Everybody was all over Darnell Mooney in fantasy. Everybody. Nobody was on Devontae Parker though.
Because he's Devontae Parker. I mean, come on, man.
Exactly.
Devontae Parker. Devontae Parker.
Devontae Parker. That's part of my argument.
Devontae Parker can't even stay healthy in Miami. Come on.
Exactly. I agree with you. And it's Khalil Herbert. It's all of these guys. Listen, here's the thing. We're going to see it tonight. Live up close and personal tonight. We're going to see it tonight. I don't got to worry about watching the Yankees tonight. So I get a full chance to sit down and watch Justin Fields and scout the player. And I guarantee you I'm going to walk away unimpressed. And I'm telling you, Jock Market, Daily Fantasy, your captain spot, Kirk Cousins is going to have a career night in Chicago tonight.
Carson Wentz.
You mean Carson Wentz?
Carson Wentz, yeah.
I'm looking at
his name right now.
I mean, Carson Wentz might throw about 2 interceptions and have a sack fumble. So, I mean, he'll give it.
Justin Fields might throw 2 passes tonight.
Listen. They both going to give it up. So, give it up. It don't even matter.
Yeah, you're right. How you feel about the Phillies, though? How's that coming along?
Last night was a little rough just because of just how that 6th inning unfolded, but they came away with a. You can't even be mad coming away with a split in Atlanta.
The division series is best of 5, right?
Yep.
So they come like so when are they going to be in? It's going to be a good weekend for Philadelphia sports, huh?
Yeah, Phillies here Friday, Saturday.
Eagles home the same day.
Yep, Phillies are here. Eagles Sunday night.
Oh boy, I ain't gonna deal with this all weekend. The Philadelphia sports fan all weekend. They gonna win every championship. Did you hear our parlay yesterday? The Phillies to win the World Series, the Eagles to win the Super Bowl, and the 76ers to win the finals.
Oh man, you tripping with the Phillies winning the World Series? That ain't happening. Eagles winning the Super Bowl. Eagles win the Super Bowl.
I'm tripping with that too.
You never know. We'll know.
See Sunday night, the Dallas Cowboys come to town, and the Dallas Cowboys have won 7 of the last 8 games versus the Cowboys own the Eagles. They do
right now.
The Cowboys own the Eagles
right now. Let's not forget the early Romo days. Let's not forget Kyle Orton.
Let's talk about
Quincy Carter.
Cowboys. Let's talk about Dallas Cowboys, Philadelphia Eagles, recent years, Dak Prescott Cowboys have done. Has Dak Prescott ever lost to the Eagles? I don't even think so. Dak Prescott may be undefeated
probably not.
The Eagles.
Probably not. Go. And I'm a Dak guy. Trust me. I'm not this. Hey,
probably
he's doing his thing. I know. That's the bad part. That's the bad part.
This is the Jalen Hurts that we are going to make a trade for. You got the Romo around? Say hi. Look at that. So this is right about to make a trade. Look at that. It's a beautiful
live
Tony
trade
Romo
on there.
right
look at that.
Yeah, look at that. This is a live on-air trade. Addresses will be exchanged.
Yes.
I'm sending this Fields to Javon, and he's sending. Look at that. Select Tony Romo. That's brilliant right there. Tony Romo should be in the Hall of Fame.
Black and gold die cut right there.
I love it.
That's nice. Oh, hey, breaking news.
Mosaic.
I got a counter offer.
For what?
Uh-oh.
All right. Javon, why is the Justin Fields PSA 10 $40?
Listen, that's a great buy low if he ever gets it again. Great buy low.
It is a great buy low.
It's not happening. This guy's it was originally $69.99. I offered $50. The counter offer is $64. So I'm not going to delete that. I'm not going to respond to that.
Nah.
Good luck.
64. After tonight, the price will go down again.
Right. Hey, you know what? Something weird might if he has a good game tonight. I don't know how good of a game he might have to have, but if he has a good game tonight, that could. Maybe I should get it before the game. Maybe I should go look for more.
All right, so we good to go. All right, Javon.
Yep.
We'll trade these cards. We'll see what Justin Fields do tonight. And I wish the Phillies luck. And I wish the 76ers luck. I do not wish any luck to the Philadelphia Eagles. Dallas Cowboys, Eagles this weekend. It's a big one. It's a big one.
I wish the Cowboys good health.
All right. Yeah.
That's actually very nice. Yeah, you don't. You're not nice. Go that far.
That is very nice. And I wish the Philadelphia Eagles good health as well.
There we go. All right, y'all have a good one.
All right, holla.
Thanks, Javon.
Yeah.
He knows what he's talking about, man. He's a smart guy.
I think I know what I'm talking about too, Nando. Let's go to a break, though, so I can go see if there's something going on outside with these military.
Oh, yeah, right. Aaron Tohill is going to join us in about 15 minutes. We're going to talk. There's a Clarissa Shields fight this week. There's that Deontay Wilder fight she's going to break down for us. She's got a couple others she said were going to be good.
All right.
She actually says there's a women's fight that has some really bad blood. So. All
right, so let's do it.
I can be down for that. I'm going to continue to look for Justin Fields cards in the break. I'm going to go look at SGC 10s because maybe, there's something.
25.
Yeah, I know. All right. No problem. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more after this.
Whether you collect sports memorabilia, fantasy championships, or winning bet slips, talk about it on Bettor Sports Network.
Moose and Keith with Mark Malusis and Keith Irizarry.
Moose and Keith with you. Let's welcome aboard right now Iron Eagle.
One of the great stories that I have from doing notes on a plane, and you always get people looking over. They see color-coded uniform numbers, names, height, weight, age, background, hometown. And I had a woman sitting next to me on a flight, and I'm doing my notes, and she's kind of giving the look, then looking. And I can tell she's looking. And then finally, she'll say, so what is it that you do? Well, what do you think I do? She said, are you a wedding planner? I said, yes. I said, I have to put Rob Gronkowski at Tom Brady's table. I said, you know what? You're not correct, but it's the best answer I've ever heard.
That's great.
Corey Nando and Friends, presented by Mayo Media.
Fantasy Life Fantasy Executive. A football life to fantasy executive is probably going to be the best football life ever.
We'll be the guest, everyone who was on yesterday, basically.
Yeah, everybody that's on yesterday will be the guest. Scott Ingram, you know what I'm saying? Adam Ronis. Yeah, everybody, those people. Because what Nando, obviously you'll be there. You know what I'm saying? We'll go to the GST and shoot some scenes. You know what I'm saying?
That'd be nice.
We'll shoot some scenes in Midtown Manhattan. Antonio Brown can be on my football life.
That'd
right?
Be nice.
Because that's a big part of my comeuppance as a fantasy analyst. Everybody, the football life, the fantasy executive is going to be for the people. When they do the football life on the fantasy executive, I'm going to be hands on.
Good. Yeah. You talking to you.
Lunch Money with Kyle and Ray, presented by FantasyGuru.com.
Cheetos or Doritos?
I truly love both. Cool Ranch Doritos.
Wow.
I grew up on Cheetos. I was a big Chester Cheetah guy.
Oh, nice.
But Ray, as I have aged into adulthood, I've moved away from the fun that is the Cheeto, and I've gone to the, more cosmopolitan Cool Ranch Dorito chip. So I'm probably a Cool Ranch guy. How about you?
I would go Doritos. I don't like Cool Ranch. The traditional, original, regular, whatever it is really good. But my favorite's actually the sweet chili, the purple bag. Oh, it's delicious. It's fantastic.
Yeah. The one that sucks, and I think we can all agree on this one, taco.
Yeah.
I know a lot of things, and I'm perfect at a lot of things. My Dorito trivia is a little shaky.
Okay.
A little shaky. But I think taco is the first flavor.
Join the show with one touch of a button. It's Sports Talk 3.0 on Bettor Sports Network.
Welcome back, everybody. Corey Nando and friends. We did some stuff in the break. By the way, we're giving another cool prize tomorrow on Bettor Sports Network. Listen to Moose and Keith tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern for your chance to win a Michael Vick signed Philadelphia Eagles full-size Eclipse football helmet. All you got to do to be eligible, download the app. That's basically it. Obviously, you got to download the app. You got to register so you can hit the fun button. But tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific, courtesy getinthegame.com and Bettor Sports Network. No purchase necessary. Must be 18 or over. Winners within the last 90 days are not eligible. But that is a Michael Vick signed helmet that you can win tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. And it's as easy as just getting the app and listening. So, what less?
The Joe Webb game was on. I don't know if I saw a highlight of it on Instagram or something, or was it on? And it definitely wasn't on TV. You remember I told you the story about the year that I had the fantasy team, the best fantasy team I ever had.
Yeah,
it only lost 3 times in one season and lost all 3 times to the same dude.
Yes,
and it's the dude that had Michael Vick that year, and that year Michael Vick went off in Philadelphia, and that Joe Webb night, that Vikings Bears night, that Vikings Bears night. Was it was a recovered. Webb must have fumbled right before the game ended, and the Bears defense recovered and it beat me by 1 point. I've never been so heartbroken in my life.
I remember the end of that season was the Joe Webb tomfoolery where he was like pulling the Taysom Hill thing. Where
he was doing
listed as quarterback when he was playing tight end, or he was listed as tight end but he was playing quarterback.
I even remember like picking him up or something like that to keep the opponent from picking him up in that playoff game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It didn't work. It was
we got a question.
Moment. When they do the fantasy executive on the Football Life, they got to have the Joe Webb going to be on it.
All right. That's why I could probably get him.
Yes, it's probably easy to get Joe Webb. About as easy as it's going to be to get Justin Fields in 5 years. Good
news. There's an SGC 10.
That water looks good.
There's an SGC 10 for 45. I put in an offer for 40 during the break.
Nice. Good job. You get Justin Fields. Remember I was telling you about that car that kept wanting to show you? Oh, I just dropped it, doggone it. See, I wish it was a better player, but I never seen this design right here before. It's Bogdan Bogdanovic, you know what I'm saying? Right? But look, if you look closely, it's like the little NBA 75th anniversary logo in the background.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, you see that?
Yeah.
75 anniversary with the logo with 75 behind it. Yeah, that is the diamond. It's a diamond logo with 75 behind it, but it's Bogdanovich, so that stinks.
Well, I mean, it still might be worth something.
I like it. It's a real good looking card, but it's Bogdanovich, which I wish he was like a good player.
Such is life.
Yeah.
Aaron Toho's going to be joining us in a minute. A. Ross has a question here through the app.
This is one of my World Cup stickers.
Let me see.
I'll show you this. I got 2 of these. I got 3. I don't know what none of these World Cup stickers mean. I got this gold one right here. See that gold World Cup sticker right there?
That's Wales?
I don't know. These are countries.
The Welsh flag? Take a picture of it. Reverse Google image.
That's Brazil right there, right?
All right, there you go.
Brazil on it's a gold Brazil. Why is it gold, though? You know what I mean?
Maybe the gold ones are the countries.
Yeah, maybe the gold. Yeah, that makes sense right there. And then this is, I want to say this is Portland. It's probably, probably Portugal, not Portland.
Could be it. You could be right.
Portland got a team in the World Cup. Everybody got purple.
Congratulations.
Everybody got purple hair.
They make their own soap.
Yo, man, I'm not going nowhere near Portland. I'm sorry.
Hey, let's answer this A. Ross question quick because I think he's asked it twice now, and I want to make sure we're serving everybody who's on the app. Pick 2: AJ Brown, Sutton, or Melvin Gordon. Standard league.
Standard league: AJ Brown, Sutton, or Melvin Gordon. And Dallas has been real good versus the past. I think I would go Melvin Gordon. Even that's 2 Broncos, though, and you don't want 2 Broncos because they can't score either. I go Brown and Sutton.
Yeah, me too. Brown and Sutton it is. Good luck, A. Ross. And let's bring in our guest. Aaron Tohill's here.
Hey, Aaron, what's going on?
We did
Welcome
it, guys. Back. What's going on? How are you?
We were searching for, our producers were searching for your Twitter to tag you in the post, but you don't have a Twitter, right?
I don't. I've never had one.
And your Instagram is kind of a moving target sometimes.
I'm on my 3rd account, so I'm good now. I stopped bullying people, so I think I'm in the. I know, right? Big ups. So I think I'm clear on that coast.
All right,
that's cool. That's what's up.
Aaron, how's it going?
Get into this weekend. Yeah, what's up with you?
It's good. This is a big fight because I know last weekend we didn't talk, but there wasn't much going on. So there's a lot going on this weekend. So let's, touch base on that.
Yeah, let's dive. So we talked a little bit about Deontay Wilder yesterday. He's 37. He just came off one of like these epic you talk about fights. You know what I mean? Like, oh my, like I watched that and I'm like, that was just like a boom, boom, boom. But like the kind of fight that you as a viewer want to see. And now It seems kind of like he's going up like Hellenius, like, why? You could just ride off into the sunset as like the guy who fought this amazing fight and then said, see you later. He's a massive favorite in this fight. Is this? I mean, I guess why? I'm sure you've retired a couple times, and I think you've come back, right? And then I guess B is kind of like, is this a trap fight in a way? Is he going to kind of take it easy and underestimate Hellenius at all, or is he like angry and just needs to redeem himself?
Well, I think first off, as a fighter, we retire and we come back all the time. So the heavyweight division is getting big, and I think it's a good time for him to be involved. He's been. I just saw today, it was like almost 3 years of inactivity. So he had those 2 fights against Fury. He lost both of them. I was at one of them. I think it was at the first one. And I think he's just seen there's a lot of money involved. So He obviously loves fighting, but this is the time right now if he's going to come back. So Hellenius is he's kind of like a high risk, low reward, but he needs to get back into contention with somebody who he's going to beat this guy. He'll put him to sleep. There's not a lot of guys that can really beat Fury. I mean, Wilder. I think he was like 40-0 before Fury beat him. So all he's got to do is box this guy, not underestimate him. He might come out and try to do the quick 1-2, but he'll be able to beat this guy.
Is there anybody out there on the come up that can be a significant person to help bring the heavyweight division back?
Well, you got Usyk, who's now the unified, right? And that guy came up from cruiserweight and he fought and beat Joshua 2 times. So that's a big thing. Wilder, Fury, of course, who he retired and now he's back. So he's in talks with, Joshua is still in the mix. We got Otto Wallen, who's now he's being thrown in the mix, right? With, getting in there with Joshua. So people like those fights, it's one of the more compelling weight classes and you're for sure going to get some knockouts and that's what people want to see.
Yeah. The big hits.
Is this kind of like, I mean, you fought on the undercard. Was it Tyson McNeely, the one you fought?
Tyson McBride.
Oh, Tyson McBride. All right.
Yes.
Yes. But I mean, is Hellenius like, I mean, I know he's got a good record and, but he's like, He's a plus. I think he's a 4-1 underdog, depending on where you're looking. Is this like is Deontay Wilder? Because if people want to bet on this fight, you can bet like by knockout. And I know you said he's going to put him to sleep, so I assume you think Wilder's going to knock him out.
I think so, yeah.
But is this going to be like Wilder's just going to come out in the first and just be like boom boom, or does he actually need to maybe? I've read stories about fighters trying to extend the fights. Man, I think it was Golovkin or someone who was just dominating everybody on purpose. Let the fight go to like the 8th round because he needed the reps. Like, is that Wilder's
the
way
rounds,
does he need to?
the
Exactly.
rounds, right?
Yeah.
They need the rounds. So we always talk about this, and Mike Tyson always said something that kind of stuck with me. He goes, I'd rather fight somebody who is maybe had a lopsided record, but they didn't go the distance. If you look at a guy who's 10-0 and all of his knockouts came in, the first or second round, he's like, I'd rather go against the guy who's undefeated and take him to the deep waters. He goes, because even though the other guy might have, the B-side guy might have a some lopsided record, he goes, he's been in there with champions and he's gone the distance. So, you can look at it that way too. I think Wilder is game. He's fucking badass. I don't think he's going to underestimate this guy. I think it's a good fight for him. He can't go right into like fighting, another top dog. This guy is somewhat formidable. Anybody can be knocked out, especially in the heavyweight division. And this is a good fight for him to just, kind of brush off the cobwebs after almost 3 years. So.
Man, that's crazy. It's been that long. You said there's a good fight on the undercard. Oh, sorry. Corey, go ahead.
I was getting ready to ask the same question. Is any fight on the undercard that you're looking forward to?
Yes. So the Wilder Helenius is a WBC heavyweight title eliminator. Okay. So that's the other reason why this is an important fight for those guys. It'll put them closer to a fight with Fury. And then of course, something with Usyk. So the undercard, you got Anthony Durrell, and he's fighting Caleb Plant. Plant came off his first loss with Canelo. I don't know if you guys saw that one. And Durrell, very decorated amateur. He's a great fighter as well. This is also an intriguing fight. I like both of them. But Durrell is pushing 40. Okay. And I think Caleb is probably 30 or 31. He's in his prime. He's an excellent boxer, excellent ring IQ. Same with Durrell. But one of Durrell's last losses, it was against Benavidez. This is also, so going to this is a WBC super middleweight eliminator bout. So this puts these two, because I think Durrell is number 3, Plant is number 2, Benavidez is number 1, undisputed, who has all the belts, is Canelo. So again, this is a big money fight. I'm going to pick for this, I would pick Plant. I think he's going to outbox him. And if you watched, even though Durrell had a couple wins after the Benavidez fight, if you watch that fight, Benavidez just used his jab. Durrell has a lot of scar tissue. Caleb has a great jab, great movement. Same thing, just box him. Don't look for the knockout. These guys, it's like, yes, we need those too, but I mean, these are important fights. So sometimes it's like, however you win, just win. So if he outboxes him, sticks and moves, he's elegant in the ring, and he's a great boxer. So I would pick Plant for that one. Still going to be a good fight because they're both elite fighters.
Aaron, you fought obviously, both for in Mark's MMA and you boxed.
Yeah.
When you look at some of these matches coming up, do you take a look at the trainers? You probably know some of the trainers and their styles and how they mesh with the fighters. Does that go into it at all, or do you just know the fighter well enough where what that plan's going to be?
Absolutely. Just like fighters.
You said just box him, right? Like, is the trainer that, like, do you see his trainer being like, this is what we're going to do then? We'll do the Aaron plan.
Well, yeah. I mean, the history shows that's how he performs in the ring. So yeah, I can look at the coach, and just like fighters, there's, high level coaches, Hall of Fame coaches, same type of thing, very respected ones. When you're at this level, even if you don't know their names, they're good. The coach is good. They gotta, the fighter is the one that has to get in there and implement the plan, but the coach is good. So at this level, it's like, you don't have a lot of room for error. So I don't even remember who Plant's coach is. Same with Durrell's. I know they're good. They're great coaches.
Gotcha.
But you just look at how they performed in their last couple, all of their fights. what do they do in the ring? What's their style? And they're both more boxers. So.
Got it. Makes sense.
Let me ask you, this is a question, not about the fights.
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite venue? Like, do you have, you got your venue that's like favorite venue for you to watch a fight at, or a favorite venue that you participated in? Like, what do you think are some of your favorite venue and some of the top venues?
Me myself for fighting, I don't have a particular one, but I think, you know, the big holy grail is of course Madison Square Garden. Yeah. You know, I've never fought there, and any fighter who's gone in there, that's an incredible thing. Even if you're not on TV, just to be in such a historic place. So you get places like that have years and years of energy and history and hardcore fans on the East Coast.
Yeah.
So I really think, you know, it just depends what the geographically where it's placed, you know, and like on the West Coast, we've had so many changes. You know, it was like the Carson, now it's like the Dignity Health, it was the Staples Center, now it's like, you know, the Bitcoin fucking theater. I don't know. You know,
Bitcoin.com,
Bitcoin.com theater. Like, I don't know. But, you know, you get, again, historic places, I'm sure, just like Fenway, you know, like all the places with sports in general, and they just bring out a different type of person. So
they've had fights in Yankee Stadium before too, right? They've had fights in baseball fields before too, right?
I'm sure they have.
Yeah.
Oh, they did. Well, in Dallas, of course, because Spence, that's another big fight. It's not here yet, but Spence and Crawford, they did it in the Cowboy Stadium. Like I went to that. Yeah, I went to that.
Yeah, Jerry's World. It's a great venue down there in North Texas where the Dallas Cowboys, America's team, play at.
It was wild. So I saw Spence fight Mikey Garcia, and then he murked him, but it was still, he's coming up in weight and whatever. And then Mikey, right? He was another really great Mexican fighter. And then he lost a lot of fans. I don't know why, just a different weight class. And then he lost to some Spanish guy recently, and then he retired. But again, even though those were two great fighters, being able to go to that stadium and walk out, we were in the back, just incredible. You know, so it's the energy.
It's crazy at MSG, like his energy for, like, you know, it used to be like people would go, but the Knicks have an advantage because they can sign, they'll play an historic MSG and you know, whatever.
They don't.
Yeah, it doesn't work like that anymore.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't work like that for the New York basketball team anymore.
There are a couple fights on the women's side that have some bad blood this weekend. And Clarissa Shields, we asked about, I think last time you were on here. This, like, we're here. It's time, right?
We're here, right? Because it was a few weeks ago. So this is for women's boxing. This is huge. So I'm pumped for this. I think it was like a few weeks ago, and then the Queen died, and they pushed it.
Right.
So it's not the best weekend to have a women's fight, but at least it's an elite one. I think because there's, you know, all different time brackets these fights are happening in, and that's how they plan it. It's all women's card, and the main event is Clarissa Shields versus Savannah Marshall. So if you know women's boxing, these two, you know, they have the bad blood is real. Clarissa's one loss, and this is years ago, but it was to Marshall in the amateurs. And so, you know, two elite fighters, and same thing with boxing. It took a while to make this fight happen, but they've been building it. Clarissa has the 2 gold medals. Savannah has 1 title, and Clarissa is undisputed in like 3 weight classes, which is a huge thing for women. But this is a middleweight affair. So it'll be undisputed. Okay. So the winner gets all the fucking marbles, this is a big important fight for women's boxing. And then the undercard is another Team USA member, a really decorated amateur, which is Michaela Mayer. And I think she's 17-0 or something. She's a top ranked fighter. She fights at 135 right now. I think she fought at 130 as well. But this one is at 135, and she's fighting Alicia Baumgardner. So Alicia has a belt that she won from Terry Harper. beat her ass. I don't remember what belt she has, but this is like knocked her out on the feet. Like she hit her and then she like, it was pretty wild. So this is a unified affair, which means somebody has 2 belts and then somebody has one and then they unify them. But undisputed it is they have all of the belts. So when you unify them, it's unifying 2 belts. A mayor has 2, Baumgartner has 1. So unification belt, and then again the main event is undisputed. So big thing.
Is Shields? So I was looking at the odds before, and the Shields fight looks close. I mean, there's not like a huge favorite, but I noticed like a draw was like a 12-1 possibility, which is. It seems like if you got something that even, maybe a draw is something you'd want to maybe put up like that's a possibility since it looks, but I guess not, right? Like that's not a. I mean, I know it's not a normal thing anyway, just to fight to a draw, but this close of a line, you see at least maybe a difficult decision at the very least, right?
Yes. Well, the one plus that Marshall has is that it's in the UK, it's in her hometown, so it's a co-promotion. They're doing it with Salida, and I want to say I think she's with Eddie Hearn with Matchroom, but again she's Clarissa's with Salida, which is I think Otto Wallen is with Salida too, but so that's always just like the home team advantage. You always got that. Sometimes they're gonna turn their face at something or not get a point, or so you already have an advantage with that. They're both, I believe, 10-0. I believe they're both undefeated, but Marshall has an 80% knockout rate. Look, like honest to God, she's probably one of like the 5 top women, like boxers and hardest hitters, like in the history of fighting. I think she's a fucking badass. And Clarissa has, I think, 2 knockouts, like a 20% knockout rate. So do I think that Marshall is going to knock her out? I don't. She's a world champion. She's been through a lot of stuff. I think she can withstand that onslaught. It's nothing neither of them has seen before, even though this is a huge stage. But power is an eraser, right? It can change the course of a fight. Even if the fighter is not as good as the other one, the power negates a lot of things. So I would say they're both incredible boxers in their own right. And I'm not I don't really have a dog in the fight. I just think if Sav uses her jab and just keeps her at bay and just sets it up, bum, bum, and move, bum, bum, and move. She's good in the mid-range. She's good on the inside too. I think as Clarissa, I think is faster than her. And she might be a little better boxer. She's just a different style. And I think Savvy is a great boxer too, just a different style. But if she just takes her time, and like she said in the interviews, Marshall was like, I don't care how I'm going to win. We just need to win. She goes knockout, decision, let's just win. So if I had to bet, even if it was very close, I would probably just give it to Marshall points on the decision. So
got it. I'm writing these down. Marshall decision. Got it. Yeah.
And it's close. They're both very decorated. This is the elite of the elite. 160 and 168 for women. This is like when I was fighting and Layla and Wolf but fuck, the divisions were deep. I'm telling you, they were very deep. Now it's like they're shit.
Well, Shields loses. If Shields loses, I mean, she's been dabbling in MMA. Is she just kind of like, I don't need to box. I'll just go at MMA. Or is she like, I got to go back and I got to beat Marshall now.
She tried to. She had 2 for PFL. I'm getting like a major.
You getting feedback?
Yeah, feedback.
Oh.
So anyway, she tried to get 2 PFL fights, and then the first one, I think it was a gimme fight. The girl was a brown belt, and somehow she turned her over and did all this shit. So she won on a decision. And then the second girl she fought was a girl named Abby Montez, and Abby beat her. So I think she wanted to go into it because there's a lot of money. PFL paid her very well, but MMA is a hard sport.
Yes,
and people think they can do both. They can.
Aaron, we got, and some people have,
and some people have.
We gotta go. We got Justin Henry coming on at 4.
Okay.
This is great. Again, so I got Wilder by knockout. I got Plant. And I got Marshall in a decision. That's what I'm going to play.
Got it. Let's go with it.
With Mayer and Baumgartner, I think Mayer on points.
Mayer on point. All right, great. More money if I throw a 4th one in there. So we'll see what happens.
Let's
Aaron,
go.
What's up this weekend? Are you doing bare knuckle again this weekend? I know that's in England, right? That's
Yes. So everyone's leaving. Dawn and all those guys. I think they leave today. And then let's give a shout out for that. So BYB cross promotion with BKB in London at the Indigo O2 Arena, free and live on the Stadium app. Too many good fights to call, too many to pick, but I'm going to be watching everything.
Awesome. Aaron, thanks a lot. This is always
guys.
Fun. And then you set a record for swears. So congratulations.
Yeah. Next time.
All right. Thank you, Aaron. Man, that's all right. We got some. Hey, I love fights, man. I'm sorry. I'm not going to apologize. Let's bring in Justin Henry. We'll take a break in a little bit, but let's bring him in. He's running our. I mean, you might have already, if you're watching the Bettor Sports Network here on the app, you might know him from doing the TikToks. He's doing our social media content. He's going to be making regular appearances on the channel. I believe this is his first. Justin, welcome to the show.
Absolutely. Appreciate you guys having me. And yes, my first time on the Bettor Sports Network, but I'm glad to be here and excited to be on the show, guys. Thanks for having me.
Awesome.
Hey, what's going on, Justin? Nice to meet you. Corey Parson, the fantasy executive.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you. Fantasy executive, huh? Is that fantasy football, fantasy basketball? We talking all of it.
Just fantasy football, you know what I'm saying? That's my main fantasy operation right now.
Fantasy football of a URL for
well, I like it, guys. And fantasy exec, that's the name. That's how I got on in the social media space, fantasy gods. And so I'm right there combating with the executive and gods. We at the top nonetheless.
There you go. The Brian Robinson thing. I don't know if I mentioned. I just saw it when we was talking with Aaron. Brian Robinson's starting running back right now for the Washington, whatever the Commanders. Yeah, that's what we're going with. The Washington Commanders starting running back right now is Brian Robinson. So the Gibson thing. Listen, I'm not cutting them, but you got to temper your expectations. You know what I'm saying? So there you go, right there. So that is the latest update. I saw that bit of breaking news right there. So Brian Robinson is definitely going to win comeback player of the year now. You know what I'm saying? As long as he can finish the season, he's going to win comeback player of the year. So if you got, and not to take it lightly and say we should have wagered on that, but you know what I mean? He's good. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
No, it's good to see him back on the field. It was exciting to see the intro last week, and I think the story itself, is just it's remarkable. And to have it, to actually him having a role here very soon, coming back from the injury and being able to even get on the field is amazing within itself. And I think he has a real role in fantasy lineups as like a running back too, like with the low floor, obviously if he doesn't get the touchdowns, but like you mentioned, not panicking yet on Antonio Gibson. He might have a role. He's too talented to just not see the field, in my opinion, and too talented to cut. So I think we give it a week. Let's see what it looks like tonight in the game. I think Brian Robinson, this might be prime time, the chance to get him a score.
I got comeback player of the year odds up. Brian Robinson's off the board for comeback player of the year right now.
Yeah, because they probably got to come back with him being
the same news we got.
Back. Yeah, they're going to come back and it's going to be minus 110. So if you didn't hit that at that time, you know what I'm saying? That ship is sailed right now.
Oh, guess who finally showed up? Guess who showed up? Geno Smith, 10-1.
Oh, Geno Smith was there. That's not a bad one right there, too.
Odds. Yeah.
There you go. Well, it's too late now. You know what I'm saying? It's already a done deal, if you ask me. You know what I'm saying? Especially what happened in the offseason with Brian Robinson. But Justin, what do you think about the game tonight? I'm trying to educate these people, and I'm telling them, this is a Washington Commander night. This is a big Carson Wentz night. And they keep talking about Justin Fields don't got no weapons. And I'm like, Justin Fields just sucks. You know what I'm saying? So we got a situation tonight.
Sometimes you got to call it like it is.
Javon, I'm going to put money on it, Javon, on a sports book.
Well, tonight.
But what I'm saying is this is a Commander's night right here.
I'm with you there. And I think short week at home, this is a Commander's night. And the Bears just aren't impressive to me. You mentioned Justin Fields and having weapons. There's quarterbacks who have done more with less. He's struggling to get to 175, 150 passing right now. And whether you have weapons or not, Darnell Mooney looked decent last year. Cole Kmet was supposed to be this piece that they added in there. So a lot of the excuses were thrown out for Justin Fields, the coaching last year with Matt Nagy. Like, there's a lot of hand-holding that's gone into this Justin Fields narrative to me. I just don't think it's just Chicago. He's just not the quarterback for Chicago right now. And I think, the Commanders, they're going to come out with a lot of, Brian Robinson there. And I think Chicago's at home tonight. I messed that up.
Yeah,
Brian Robinson.
The Bears at home tonight. This is Monsters of the Midway.
Yeah, I messed that up. Brian Robinson, to me, the run game is going to be the focus there for the Commanders. So yeah, I'm not expecting the Bears this one. I think the Commanders win on the short week.
I don't want to get into this entire thing all over again, but I do think in N'Keal Harry and Velus Jones Jr. I don't know, man. Let's bring you into some other garbage that we have argued about on this show. I picked up last night in almost all my leagues. First of all, Allen Robinson was available in way too many of my leagues, and I grabbed him.
I hope we don't put him in no lineups because you're going to be having zero if you do that. Be careful. That's why I was saying leave him on the waiver wire because he's very tempting.
Yeah, but he was there.
Nah, he's not waiver wire. Like, Allen Robinson is not a waiver wire guy. It's just a disappointment through 5 weeks. Like, we all expect him to be.
You can't put him in your lineup.
No. I'm just like end of bench, dude.
No, bench is good. Like, we can't start him right now until we see something more out of this team. Right now, Tyler Higbee's operating as the de facto wide receiver 2 for this team. What it is. The line isn't good either.
Cooper Kupp's hurt.
Cooper Kupp hurt his foot. But he's playing.
I don't know. He didn't play yesterday. I haven't heard anything about him practicing today yet. I've been checking.
They're on the West Coast. They probably practice already though. But
he's expected to play.
Cooper Kupp could have a Wednesday day off, veteran day off. You know what I'm saying? Being that he carried the whole team on his back, his only thing that they can do is throw the football to him. The quarterback need Tommy John surgery. The running back quit, but as soon as he got into the league, you know what I'm saying? It ain't the same. It ain't the same Rams. The Rams ain't the same Rams this year. I think I was seeing where somebody, if somebody got a sports book app, like I said, I'm down here in South Carolina. I can't bet legally, but Nando, can you look up the Rams to not make the playoffs? Like, that could be an interesting angle to take right there. You might be able to get some.
You have to give me a minute.
You might be able to get some plus money. You might get some plus money on that because, listen, are the Rams locked to make the playoffs? I don't think so.
I don't know, man. And the way that they're just not playing well. They can't run the football right now. Cam Akers and Darrell Henderson both don't look effective. To me, they're struggling. They're struggling to protect Matt Stafford. Every time I see him, he's on his back somehow. To me, it doesn't look good, and the defense really isn't holding down the fort right now while the offense is struggling. To me, it doesn't seem like the Niners right now are probably going to win this division with 10, 11 wins.
Yeah, and there you go. And the rest of the division, we'll see. I'm not saying that the NFC East is the power division in the NFC, but I expect Baltimore I expect the Giants to perform well against Baltimore this week. Wait a minute. Plus 115 to make the playoffs. So we already missed the boat on that. There you go.
I got plus 105 on DraftKings to not make the playoffs.
At plus 105, this is the Rams. That should be plus 400. They just won the Super Bowl. It's week 5, and everybody's like, forget it. They're off the ship already. I thought I was foreshadowing, and guess what? Everybody's like, we beat you to it.
Now, in either of your guys' minds, Nando or Corey, is there a way where you guys see the Rams coming back? Because the elbow issue must be bothering Stafford more than we thought, because he's not pushing the ball downfield at all right now. They also don't have Van Jefferson, which is one of the weapons that they need to help push the ball downfield. But is this one of those situations where we're kind of overreacting through 5 weeks? Because it feels like the Rams will turn it on at some point.
I don't know. Well, you know what? This whole Odell Beckham. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Corey.
It's going to be on the arm of Matthew Stafford, and that's the arm I don't think that you could trust right now. I think the Rams are in a bit of a. Listen, here's the thing. You got Carolina coming in this week with the win one for the Gipper game. There you go. Or the cover one for the Gipper
cover
game.
One for the Gipper.
Right? Then they got San Francisco. San Francisco is better than them. Then they got the Rams. The Rams are better than them. Then they got the Cardinals. They about the same as the Cardinals. Then they got to go to New Orleans. They got to go to Kansas City. This right here could get ugly for the Rams, to be honest with you.
The schedule, man. That Super Bowl schedule, not doing them any favors, man. I think that this team they have too many veterans. They have too many just talented players on this team to completely fail and not miss the playoffs. And there's not a lot of, I would say there's a lot of performing teams right now in the NFC. You talk about the Bears have a semi-decent record. The Giants are up there. The Seahawks, the Falcons, like they all kind of just a lot of mid teams right now. Nobody's really separated themselves from the pack. So a nice 3-4 game win streak, a couple get right games for this Rams team, even with the difficult schedule, could put them in place.
Justin, you cards guy? You cards guy at all, by the way?
I got a couple back here. You know what I mean? I got a couple little collectibles back here. You know what I'm saying? I'm a little MPJ. I have a nice MPJ stack right here.
Oh, Michael Porter Jr. Michael Porter Jr. is not a bad player to invest in coming into a season where people are expecting the Nuggets to do well. The thing about Michael Porter Jr. is that it's like flag football. You know what I'm saying? It's very similar. Like if he sit down on the plane wrong, boom, a month. You know what I mean? But that's the thing. When he's in there, when Michael Porter Jr. is in there, he's lit. He's a very good player when he's out there on the court. But the problem is he's like, what's your man? He's like Rashad Penny. There you go. He's like Rashad Penny, flag football.
Unfortunately, he is. He's got to get through these injuries. The back has been flaring up on him over the years, and for me, the talent. Like when you watch MPJ, there's that talent, that it factor that you don't see in a lot of players. Like you see a lot of players who got to work hard for their scores. He's not that. He's an effective scorer, a Tatum-ish type player. So to me, when I look at Michael Porter Jr., I got a lot of that stuff when he was a rookie. Upside, I was buying the upside, and this is a talented Nuggets team now.
And it's a dude that was talented. I knew it was a dude, and there was it was a cat on social media, and he happened to be working for the Nuggets at the time. This is the going into the bubble. And he was like, Michael Porter Jr., Michael Porter Jr., Michael Porter Jr. And I ain't paying no attention. And then just like that, I was like, I got to look up some Michael Porter Jr. cards. And it was like too late, just like the Rams that missed the playoffs. It was too late, a day late and $1 short for the fantasy executive. My goodness.
That's when that card explosion happened. Like that was when the Gary V got in the game and all the cards were exploding in 5x their price. So at that time, I got MPJ for the low.
And you know who else I meant to tell you about, Nando? Basketball card. I just realized it a couple in the preseason, watching some of these preseason games. Bo.
I feel like card purchaser Lameme James is always talking about him. I feel like he's already I've missed the boat on him.
Yeah, Bo. Well, remember because when you that big and tall, right? Injuries is easy to happen. Your feet are like, it's like it's hard to walk and stuff like that. It's hard to be coordinated when you're like 7'6". You know what I mean? It's just like, but he'll give you spurts, but the prices fell off. You know what I'm saying? So Bo could be interesting coming back. But yeah, that's the same time when Michael Porter Jr. was going crazy, and I missed the boat.
Justin, you got who's your co-host on your podcast? It's a G Leaguer, right?
So yeah, I have a podcast called Talk Your Talk. Marcus Graves plays for the G League Ignite, and so he's the backup point guard right now for the Ignite. He's on the team with Scoot Henderson and all the.
Is that Scoot Henderson team?
Yeah, that's the team that went up against Wembanyama the other day, and it was funny because he was talking about his experience playing against him. He was like, he was on the corner three. He's like, I hacked the shit out of him, and he still made it. Like that guy is going to be elite. He said he's the best player right now. Well, he has the best potential of anybody he's ever played with.
Dude, you seem like a pretty normal guy. What are you doing TikTok? I mean, like,
it's everyone I know. Man.
Everyone I know who's good at TikTok. I'm like, you're weird, or you're 20. Like it's.
So I have a marketing company too. Like I've been talking. Hey, real talk. I had a sports background, so I've always known sports. Kind of came out of nowhere, but I have a marketing background, so I kind of know how to use the platform to get engaging. I know I got to be a little bit extra on there to get people to react. So and at the end of the day, like you said, I'm just a normal guy. I got sports takes, I got knowledge, and so you kind of take it in one ear, out the other, and that everybody has takes. We hit, we miss. It's part of the sports game. You just got to know that.
I meant that as a compliment, by the way.
Yeah, where does G League Ignite play at? Like, if you want to go, do they go on tour? Do they have a home court? You know what I'm saying?
No, like,
if I want to go see G League Unite play, like, do I gotta go see them play like the Greensboro Gold or something like that?
So they do have away games, but most of their games are played in Vegas. They were out of Walnut Creek. That's when they started it up. It was during the pandemic, so everything was shut down. So they were traveling. That next year they were traveling, but now they have the home base set up in Vegas. They play. I want to say it's Thomas and Mack. I'm not sure.
You know who's out there is Cole Huff. Our guy Cole Huff is out in Vegas. He's a former G Leaguer.
Okay.
We should introduce him.
All right.
You'd like him. Yeah.
But here's the thing: is like I wanted to go see the G League Unite play, but I guess I don't think I'm gonna be making it out to Vegas anytime soon. Though.
There's got to be a North Carolina team, right? Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Are they going to play like against the North Carolina? I don't know who got a G League team and who don't. Like I feel like there's
is Greensboro out there? The Greensboro team?
Greensboro, North Carolina is
that
about
it?
That's where A&T is at. So that's 3
the
hours.
Greensboro Swarm. I think the Greensboro Swarm play out of there.
Okay, so I can go to Greensboro and see them play.
3 hours. And you could hit that big. What's the place on the border, like in North Carolina, when you're driving through North and South?
That is south of the border. That
not south. The JR place, or like the J. It's called like JR. It's got a couple initials. They sell like it's a huge warehouse full of like cigars, I think, but it's also like junk.
A tobacco place. I think I don't know that part. You know what I'm saying?
Justin, let's throw you into the mix here. We got a question from Kaimana Uehara. He wants you to pick two.
That was good.
And let's assume this is half point PPR.
Okay.
Davis, Godwin, Pittman, Waddle. Pick two between Davis, Godwin, Pittman, and Waddle.
For sure going with Michael Pittman. I think he has a bounce back week this week. And then out of Godwin, and who's the first one again?
Gabe Davis.
Gabe Davis. I don't think you can bench Gabe Davis against the Chiefs this week. I think he's a must start, even with his floor. His floor is a little bit low. Touchdown potential is there against. They're going to need to score points against KC. Get him in the lineup.
Come on, get the app. You can win a Michael Vick helmet tomorrow, man. Come on. Oh, let's say Kyle Grove just showed up too. Full PPR, 10-team league. Someone drop Rashad Bateman. How much fab should I spend on him? What do you think, Justin?
Not much. Not much, because like this it's a fallacy. The Rashad Bateman thing. The Baltimore wide receiver period has been a fallacy for years. I've seen some small people buying into Bateman this year, and I'm like, why? All the wide receivers that go there fail. It's Lamar Jackson. It's Mark Andrews. It's J.K. Dobbins when he get right. Nothing else. If you want to take a shot on Bateman, I wouldn't go crazy on Bateman. And yeah, I agree. Like Javon said in the chat, it's Duvernay season. That's the wide receiver to me. Is Duvernay. He's the talented one. And Duvernay got some. They don't use him like this, but he got some Cordero Patterson in him. He can play like that too.
Justin,
he's got a lot of juice.
If you got Isaiah Likely and Rashad Bateman on your waiver wire, would you rather go low on Likely and grab him, or I guess you'd have to go kind of high to win Rashad Bateman because of the Q factor, I guess?
Yeah, I'm paying $25, $30 for Rashad Bateman because he's going to be a solid wide receiver 3 flex for the rest of the year. Even in your right now, your bye weeks are here. So even if you have a short bench, you can use a receiver like that. He's just been hurt. But when he played over the first 2 weeks, he was a top 25 receiver. I think anybody could use that production when he's healthy.
Sounds like you're disagreeing with Corey.
Oh, I do, no doubt.
Disagree with Corey Day here.
Yeah, I see that. But here's the thing. I just listen. Numbers speak for themselves. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. He's on the waiver wire in a 10-team league. That's all I got to say. He's on the waiver wire in a 10-team league. He's not rosterable in a 10-team league. So that means he's a bench player at best in a 12-team league. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, he's a starter in a 12-team league, in my opinion. I think in a 10-team league, the person who dropped him may not know what they're doing, or they may not be as savvy, and they may have looked at him being out for the last 3 weeks. But Lamar's leaned on him. We've seen Lamar hit him twice for deep touchdowns early in the season, and that's one of the roles that he's going to play. He's a great receiver. They invested heavily in him, traded Hollywood Brown away, who had a decent year last year for the Ravens, in order to have him be their starting guy, their player. Duvernay, like you mentioned, is more of that gadget, I would say deep ball player, that kick return type player. He's more of a shot player, whereas Bateman is going to be comfortable with 4 to 5 catches every week. Every other week, he's probably going to have a score. I like Bateman a lot.
Hey, Justin, what is our TikTok? Bettor Sports?
Bettor Network, I believe.
Bettor Network. Got it. Bettor Network. I don't have TikTok, but people listening, I bet you Jay Lynn has one. He seems like a TikTok kind of guy. 100%. Definitely has TikTok. Bettor Network. BETTOR Network.
It's its own beast. I'll tell you that.
It's, like, I appreciate it. Good, like, I have Snapchat. I'm like the old man with Snapchat. That's how I get to see all the videos of my nieces and nephews,
I'll tell you this, the sports world has kind of come on there, especially in fantasy land. And it's, it's kind of because anybody can go viral. It's given a lot of people a platform to talk. And like you mentioned, it's not always the guys who know what they're talking about. Sometimes it's the ones who know how to wrap numbers into good headlines, the ones who know how to market themselves the right way. So it's tough to filter out who actually knows what they're talking about on TikTok until you have a conversation like this and people can actually wrap their head around what you're trying to say in more than a 15-second clip.
Corey, you know who Samantha Praviti from the Action Network, she did a good job with TikTok early on. She was on that early. She was doing, she was doing funny stuff, like all the, where you point at names and things like that. And this was like 2 years ago. So I don't know if that's ahead of the time.
I never really got into the content part of it. You know what I mean? But listen,
you got a couple gray beards here, Justin.
Yeah, get in where you fit in. You know what I'm saying? Because listen, if it's out there and it can be done, and you got to attack the platforms and get that information out there, and we appreciate your work out there.
No, I appreciate you guys. Yeah, and it's funny because you do have to take a little bit of a stance, and it does have to be a little bit outward in order to gain reach. That's just one of the things you have to do on the platform. And I got into it with another gray beard. I got my own grays here, by the way, but I got into it with another gray beard on the platform yesterday because I said something. You guys are probably going to kill me for this too. I said Kevin Garnett was overrated, and I left him out of my top five. Now the headline. The Kevin Garnett was overrated was because a lot of people have him in the top three. And I don't.
As positional?
Top three of all
power
time?
Forward. Power forward.
Yeah, top three power forward.
Yeah, a lot of people have him in there. And for me, I had Duncan, Dirk, Malone, Barkley, and even Giannis, in my opinion, has now passed Kevin Garnett. So a lot of people got upset with me, I'd say, on that take.
I think it's a decent take. You know what I'm saying? I like Garnett. I was never a real big Garnett guy. I like young Kevin Garnett, Minnesota Kevin Garnett. I think the game stood up for the most part. Definitely Hall of Famer, legendary player. I don't have no part with that ranking, especially by putting Giannis over him. Yeah. I'm cool with that.
I don't follow basketball enough.
It's all hey, like I said, the TikTok arguments, man, can go in any sport.
That was my wheelhouse. Like most of the guys you mentioned were my wheelhouse when I was still watching the NBA. So like, where's Derek Coleman? But I guess he was a five. Maybe I don't know. Tell you what, let's take a quick break. We'll come back. Justin, you just Justin H3NRY on Twitter. Is that it?
Yes, Justin Henry with a 3 instead of an E.
Got you. Let's take a quick break. More with Justin. I want to ask you about Wan'Dale Robinson because that's the other guy I picked up a lot last. Yeah, love it. I got some feelings.
Yes.
And then we want to know whose hand you've shaken. Stay tuned.
Oh yeah. We got to do the Handshake Hall of Fame. We got to get your Handshake Hall of Fame too. So you think about that in the break. Because you know what? We'll talk about it when we come back. I gotta know.
Go ahead. We don't have to take. We
gotta know. No, we gotta take a break because I have to. Right. I got to take a fitting break because I haven't know. I was thinking about like Handshake Hall of Fame, and I've seen Notorious B.I.G. twice, right? But I never got a chance to shake his hand. But it was a reason why, and I'll explain it. If we have a chance to today.
I think we'll have a chance. We'll come right back and do that because we got to explain the rules. We got to explain the rules to Justin too. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after this.
Corey Nando and Friends, presented by Mayo Media.
I'm Pat Mayo of the Mayo Media Network and the Pat Mayo Experience audio podcast, two things which you should subscribe to. I'm also the presenting sponsor of Bettor Sports Network's 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern weekday live block, so you should always tune into that. But what I want to talk about today is daily fantasy strategy and how you can leverage tools in order to both win, but understand what other people are doing, because creating leverage in daily fantasy is about the number one thing you can do if you want to get to the top of the leaderboard. So I'm going to walk through some of the tools that we have at runthesims.com in order to help guide you beyond what the tools actually provide, considering it's a lineup builder, it's an optimizer, it has projections. There's all of that stuff at Run the Sims. But it can also tell us a little bit of a different story. So right now, runthesims.com is already up there. It has NASCAR, it has F1, UFC coming soon, but NFL is the bread and butter of everything. And you're going to get your prop tool. If you want your prop tool, you're also going to get your simulator. And right now, you see it's $2.99 for the package, but because our friends at BSN are so smart, you can go to runthesims.com/BSN, get yourself 10% off, and you're going to want this. You can see all of the myriad tools that Run the Sims provides, but we're going to go to the Classic Optimizer. And we're going to show you how you can create leverage in your lineup without doing anything. We're going to make it the main slate of games because, I mean, if you want to run projections for every game, you can use the entire full slate of everything. And you can pick whatever operator that you want. Well, for this example, we use DraftKings. So all the stock projections are in there. You can play around with them any way you want, game by game, player by player. But if you generate lineups and you're someone who plays both tournaments and cash games, this is important because the optimal lineups will show you who the most common players are going to be in double ups, 50-50s, and head-to-heads, and what those lineups are going to look like. Because optimal lineups are all going to be very similar. So Jalen Hurts or Daniel Jones at quarterback. You're going to have a lot of Antonio Gibson, Jonathan Taylor, Alvin Kamara, and Travis Etienne. And I'm not saying don't play these guys, but all you really need to do is pick a pivot point somewhere, and all of a sudden you can make your team especially different, especially in higher stakes in single entry double ups and cash games if you really want to go that way. So even when we go look at our player groups and our player pool, when we generate the lineups that we want, you most definitely saw that you're going to have your Jalen Hurts, Daniel Jones lineups. All you really need to do is get a little bit different, come up with a stack in a little bit of a different way, and you see Commanders defense keeps getting spat out. That's going to be the optimal one for week 1. So all you need to do is just go a different way, and all of a sudden you've created a leverage on your opponents, and your 3v3 just needs to win that 3v3, and all of a sudden you're printing money. runthesims.com/BSN for 10% off. I'm Pat Mayo.
Call, chat, and enter contests in real time. It's Sports Talk 3.0 with Bettor Sports Network.
Welcome back, everybody. Corey Nando and friends. Today's friend, Justin Henry. Presented by Mayo Media Network. In the break, we had a very busy break. I just spent $113 on 2 Justin Fields cards. Both offers were accepted. We're all in on tonight's game.
Oh, my goodness.
We need Velus. I'm going to double down and buy some Velus Jones Jr. What have I done? What have I let you talk me into in an hour and 26 minutes?
Listen, it's a good buy low, though. You know what I'm saying? Those lowly priced Justin Fields card. Hey, Jalen and Javon told me that the G League Ignite going to be in College Park. That's right now. That's a hop, skip, and a jump on March 8th and 9th. So I get a chance to see G League Ignite this year. I'm looking forward to that. Might be able to make a weekend out of it, too. You know what I'm saying? So I will get to see Scoot Henderson this year. Like, none of the top players coming in the NBA draft this year is there's this Victor dude and then the Scoot, and they don't even play in college.
Yeah, it's crazy that this. It's crazy this whole Ignite thing has come about, and it seems like this is an option for these young guys now to come in and play a year or two with the Ignite and actually just play against grown men, you know, and it gives them a little bit more exposure. You see the potential number 1 and 2 picks going at each other. So to me, it's awesome for them. And with the NIL things going on and players able to get paid, it just seems only right, man. Give these guys the bag. I ain't mad at it.
I bought some overtime elite cards. I don't know if they're worth anything.
Too.
Yeah, I bought like the first 1, 2, and 3. I think that first set that came out.
Y'all some collectors then.
We got nothing else to do with our lives, man. We're old.
Yeah, I got adult Happy Meal toys over there. You know what I'm saying?
I tried to get some last night. They were out. They're out of the McDonald's down here in Jersey. Yeah, how about that?
They have no adult Happy Meals. I might go get an adult Happy Meal after the show.
You better make sure they still have them. You could just show up and be like, sorry, sir, we're out of adult Happy Meals. How'd you like that?
I'll just go get the little kids one, man. Little kids Happy Meal if they let me buy that. I might need 3 or 4 of them. I'm a big guy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, just after a while, them things, you're like just that little one slab of meat on that hamburger don't cut it for the fantasy executive.
3 nuggets.
Oh,
yeah,
Justin Fields. Hey, Matt say the Justin Fields breakout is here. Buy him on Jock Market. Okay, I'm on Carson Wentz tonight. I'm on Carson Wentz tonight. Y'all go ahead with y'all Justin Fields shares, and we'll see who's on top tomorrow.
N'Keal Harry's expected back too, right?
I don't know.
N'Keal Harry. I'm pretty sure he's coming off.
Yeah, N'Keal Harry's been activated. Yeah, that's part of my argument that Justin Fields is going to be good. Actually, is that?
Oh yeah,
because N'Keal Harry's going to save the day.
Because he saved so many other quarterback lives before.
Dude's 24. The Patriots have destroyed careers before of skilled players. I mean, they made a big deal out of him being activated on social media. So I mean, maybe he steps in and he does something. I don't know.
I can't wait. I'm looking forward to this contest tonight.
Another guy like Wandale, I know I teased Wandale Robinson. I got a feeling. I just got a feeling, and we've talked about this before, but Justin, it'd be good to have your opinion on this. If I got Odell Beckham vibes, like, you know, dude shows up like 6 games into the season and goes nuts. No one stepped up, you know, and they lost Sterling Shepard now. It seems like just the perfect scenario for Wandale Robinson to be like, hey, 11 targets. Thank you.
You know, it does. And the platform was there, obviously, early in the season for Kadarius Toney. And for whatever reasons, injuries, doghouse, whatever you want to call it, it didn't work out with Kadarius Toney. And with Brian Dable, it was like, that's kind of what I was expecting him to utilize Kadarius Toney in that role. No Sterling Shepard, a lot of injuries for the Giants right now, and they're looking for somebody to step up. Wandale, if he plays this week, I'm thinking he's on track to play this week. He's the guy they drafted. 2nd-round pick. He's a little small, so obviously, you know, there's not a lot of durability. There might be some durability concerns, which he's already shown this season, but there's a lot of upside with that kid, man, out of Kentucky. And so to me, I like Wandale Robinson. He's probably floating around on your waivers. If not, he just got picked up this week. I get him active. I feel like he's going to have a strong day. If he plays, I think he becomes a heavy part of their offense.
I'm excited for my Wandale Robinson, Allen Robinson combo on all my teams in week 10 or whenever they finally get their comeuppance. All right, let's talk Handshake Hall of Fame real quick, and then we'll get into some games for this week with Justin. But this is something we've done on the show. Corey inadvertently invented it, talking about how many people he's shaken hands with. Here are the rules. It's a combination of scarcity and fame, and I guess a little bit of weirdness you can work in there. It's kind of obvious once you start throwing names out. Person has to be alive. Those are the rules. You don't have to have shaken their hand. There's a whole category of people whose hands you've shaken that you'd like to hit a little first. And then who do you think would be in the Hall of Fame, you know, if you could shake their hand? But I want to hear, like, Corey, the Biggie Smalls story we can get into. And then we give Justin a minute to think about this. Now that he knows the rules.
I got two. I never told you, I got 2 Kanye stories. Did I tell you I got 2 Kanye? I've shaken Kanye West's hands twice. Weird. You know what I'm saying? So I got 2 Kanyes, which are like Hall of Fame events. I've met Kanye West twice randomly, both times. So I got those 2. But then I was thinking about like some musicians and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. I've never shooken Beyonce's hand, but I've been in like her space like twice. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, whatever. And I thought about Notorious B.I.G., right? So I've seen him twice. It was one time. You know, I'm saying these places like people know, but there's a Popeyes on Lenox Avenue, 145th Street in Lenox. You know what I'm saying? Right. And everybody was like packed up against the window, and Biggie was in the Popeyes, and you seen like his back. It was massive compared to the other backs on the line. You know what I'm saying? But then there was one time, and right, so this is what they would do. Like at the Apollo, they would have the Friday after Thanksgiving. They would always have like a concert. You know what I'm saying? So one day I'm walking down 125th Street. And I see that Notorious, it was lit. It was like Notorious B.I.G., Mobb Deep, the Fugees, Foxy Brown. The opening act, this is how lit the concert was. The best concert I've ever been to. The opening act was Jay-Z. He was the opening act. So with the Apollo, right, they have a 7 o'clock show and then an 11 o'clock show. So I'm like, obviously I'm trying to go to the 11 o'clock show. But the 11 o'clock show was sold out instantly, right? Now, little did I know, the 7 o'clock show didn't start till 11 o'clock. But that's like, but that's a Harlem thing. You know what I'm saying? So, so we get right. So we get. Jalen, I don't judge the. I judge the art, not the artist. So we get to. So that we buy tickets, me and cut my homies, you know what I'm saying? We get tickets. So like but of course they was coming from like Long Island, right? So they're like, yo, you get down there, you hold a spot on line for us. So I get down there about 6 o'clock, line around the corner. You know what I'm saying? So I bet I go in the bodega since we outside standing in line. I go in the bodega and I get me like a deuce. You know what I'm saying? So I go in the bodega, I get me a deuce. This is like Rudy Giuliani era, so you got to like hide the joint. You know what I'm saying? Swig, hide, right? Going down the line. So finally meet people, hold my spot. I go get another deuce. Now it's time to get close to showtime.
Whoa,
and
is it one enough?
We still around the corner. Well,
Nando,
you remember the show didn't start till 4 hours later.
All right.
So now it's like 10 something, right? And we all like, well, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? We all like, what's going on, right? So they're like, oh, so now you start to see some more lights, fancy cars coming around. So some of the artists are starting to pull up and celebrities and stuff like that. So now I done been drinking. I got you covered, Jalen. I done been drinking, right? These deuces all night. Now I got to go to the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm like, oh boy, you know what I mean? So I go up to the front, right? And I'm like, yo, my man, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking to the dude. He's like, yo, son, I ain't got nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying? I can't hold your spot in line, nothing like that. If you can't wait till you get in, you just got to go for what you know, right? So I'm like, oh my goodness. So one of my homeboys pulled up, right? So I'm like, yes, thank you, you're here. And why are you so late? So I go around the corner, right? So I go around the corner to the back, to 124th Street. So you know what I'm saying? I'm public urination, you know what I mean? And while this is happening, a car pulls up, right? And Lil C's gets out the car. And I'm like, oh my God, it's Lil C's, right? And then the Notorious B.I., this is when his leg was broken. So somebody gets his wheelchair out the back of the truck, you know what I'm saying? And he limps out the truck, and I'm urinating, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, oh, it's B.I.G., you know what I'm saying? But I couldn't get a handshake because my hands was full, you know what I mean? So that's why I don't have the Notorious B.I.G. in the Handshake Hall of Fame. But I ended up, you know what I'm saying? He ends up, Charlie Baltimore pushes him in the wheelchair to the stage door. I looked over and said stage door. To the stage door at the Apollo Theater, and I'm like, and then I come back around, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, I see Biggie, you know what I'm saying? And everybody's like, word. So that's how come I didn't get Notorious B.I.G. handshake, because it would have been inappropriate to shake his hand without washing it first, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
And then when
that's
I
nice
went to the Apollo, is the first time I seen, I had to go to the bathroom again as soon as I got in the building. It was the first time I seen Ice Cubes inside the latrine, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I used to go to a bar that had those. I love that.
Yeah. Because when you melt in the ice, you feel like you're doing something.
Right. Exactly. And it doesn't splash as much.
I still haven't seen one of those.
Oh, Justin, you will never look at a urinal the same way again if you peed on ice in a urinal.
Yeah.
It's
a top-notch
urination
experience.
Such a waste of ice. And I don't know why they do it.
It probably saves a lot of cleanup.
I don't know.
Well, yeah, you never, especially throughout those deuces like that, huh?
Yeah, that night. Can you imagine what it was like in there that night? The smell of marijuana in that place.
Oh, man.
It was wild in there, but we had a time that night. It was unbelievable.
Love it.
All right, Justin, your turn.
Yeah, man. So to me, I'm big into like motivation, big into sports, and big into just positivity in general. So I want to be somebody who's really positive, right? If I'm gonna shake somebody's hand, they gotta have a positive impact. And a couple people I'll check off the list early on. Damon John, I actually worked with him for a while.
Okay.
Did some video shoots for him, video edits, always pushing out positivity, marketing and stuff. So for me, cross that one off the list. That was a dope one. And then another time I was in Vegas, 2007 or 2008, actually. All-Star game was in Vegas. And, we were chilling on the strip. You know how it is.
That's when Pac-Man Jones shot the joint up or something like that.
That is exactly when that happened, man. And we were out there. We were like, you know what? Strip's too hot right now. There's a lot going on. Let's head to the Palms. Little did we know the players were staying at the Palms. And so we walk in the back door of the Palms. Like we had gone around, walked in the back door. And I met so many people that day. I literally cut into a line. There was, we saw the first player I saw was Tracy McGrady walking up.
T-Mac.
He had his hood on. Yep, T-Mac walked up, dapped him up real quick, and I was like, hold on a second, fellas. Let's chill. I was with a group of guys. And so we stood there. We're going into this back door. So Allen Iverson, Marcus Camby, they're all walking down. Tim Duncan, Garnett.
Solid.
I was like, what's going on? It was the Western All-Star practice, like the practice session beforehand. The entire team was walking through. So we're dapping them all up, asking for autographs. A crowd comes in and they block off the entire crowd and leave me and my homies just chilling right there near the entrance. It was so much love, man. All the players, we waited. The Eastern Conference All-Stars show up. So I got Kobe, LeBron, Melo, all those guys, man. It was an incredible experience. So I dapped up a lot of the NBA players that I wanted to dap up.
That's
the one player I have not had an opportunity to, I don't know if this is breaking the Handshake Hall of Fame rules, but I'm going to do it anyway. Old school Shaq. Shaq is a guy I would love to dap up with, have a conversation with, man. So much energy on and off the court, bro. And as a Laker fan, to me, that would be ideal. The next one, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and I know I butchered the last name, but man, he just brings so much positivity to the game, and just watching the doc and everything that he's gone through in his life, just the character that he is. To me, those are two sports guys I love. And plus, I'm 6'4". I got huge hands. It'd be crazy to see somebody with hands like way out here,
That's gonna be how Shaq hands is gonna look. Yeah. We said he was too accessible. Like I feel like it could be easy to run into Shaq.
There's too much Shaq. Yeah, too much Shaq in the wild, I think, was the problem.
Too many people I feel like he would spit a lot of game, and he's just such interesting. I feel like you've seen him giving out like money, or you giving out advice to kids, and I feel like if you walked into Shaq, you would get such a genuine moment that he doesn't just give out to everybody. It doesn't feel like it would be a fake interaction. So I feel like with Shaq, not only would you get to see this ginormous human being, somebody who is towering over you, but then you also get somebody who's really down to earth and humble enough to have probably a real conversation with you versus a lot of guys handshake and dip.
Good stuff. Right quick, before we talk about some of these football games, you mentioned the Lakers. What do you think about the Lakers this upcoming season? I think that win total, last year that win total came out at 53.5. I couldn't wait to bet the under cash before the All-Star break. Every time you bring Russell Westbrook to a team, the under is going to cash. I look at them going into this season, that win total crept back up. I think it was 45.5, which is about a good number. But if Russell Westbrook is a major contributor on this Laker team this year, they're going to stink again, because Russell Westbrook is just, you already saw it last night when him and Pat Bev. It's just a bad energy. They got to get him off the team. You got to agree with me on that, right?
It's the energy, yeah. And I would have liked to see him go on the offseason, because I think it's going to be a long season with him on the team. And we're going to see a lot of the same stuff we saw in this preseason, where he's just distant from the team, arguing with Pat Bev, not wanting to be a part of the Laker aura. And you have to have that. Like, it's a chink in the armor for this team that has a LeBron James, has an Anthony Davis, has a recent NBA championship. And when you got guys like Russell Westbrook on there, you're expecting him to kind of fall in line. And he's the kind of guy he doesn't want to play his role. He wants to be the dog on the team. And it's tough for him. I don't blame Russell Westbrook. It's just tough for his personality to adapt. That's not who he is. He's always been the guy. We saw it in OKC. We saw it in Washington. He needs the ball in his hand. He needs to average a triple-double in order to feel like he's accomplishing something on the court. So to me, it's going to be a struggle, because for new coach Darvin Ham, if you can't keep all those personalities under wraps, especially adding Pat Bev to the mix, which to me was wild. You add Pat Bev to the mix, I'm not sure how this turns out well, especially since the West is already so tough.
You got to cut Russell Westbrook.
You can't cut him. You can't. He's too talented. You can't. You still owe him all that money. You can't cut him.
No. I don't care about the money. If you want to win, you got to cut him. He's not talented. See, I think that's the mistake. He's not talented. He's a good player on a bad team. He is not going to be, if you put him on your team and he gets his triple doubles, then he just going to be his triple doubles, and you're going to win 38 games.
We've seen him go to the playoffs with that Russell Westbrook strategy with the Wizards and OKC. That's the only thing.
With the Wizards, they was in the Wizards. That was a team that made the play-in tournament with Russell Westbrook. Did they make it into the regular playoffs that year? They
were in regular playoffs
as the 8th seed, right? And then in OKC, they was getting bounced in the first round. Damian Lillard waving goodbye to them. He's a buster. The Russell Westbrook is a buster. Sorry.
I like Russ, man. I feel like there's a lot of negative things about Russ. But when you look back into when we look at his career overall, he's somebody that has got talked to a lot of selfish accolades is what he's wrapped around. But to me, he plays like that. And there's certain players, maybe not everybody's MJ. He has a role in this league though, and I like what he brought to the table. It's a lot of individual accolades attached to Russ. But I feel like he's definitely somebody that's underrated when we look at all-time NBA point guards, all-time history. He's somebody that the media has driven his value down, in my opinion.
You're the media, Corey.
You don't think
you are the media?
Play?
You are the
I
media.
am the media, and I'll be the media. I'll be the media when it comes to Justin Fields, and I'll be the media when it comes to Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook, see, that's the thing. It's like you can't talk about him because it's like, oh, well, he's Russell Westbrook. He stinks. He doesn't do anything good besides triple doubles on 39 win teams. When it comes time to play deep into the June months, Russell Westbrook teams don't be there because he can't do it. That's not him. He can't shoot. And he take up and he hog the ball. He brings the toxic energy to the team. I wouldn't want no parts of Russell Westbrook. I would cut him. Just be done with him. Cut him like Antonio Brown. He's like a basketball Antonio Brown.
The part I do agree with you with. There's a part I agree with you with. And a lot of it, the talent stuff, I don't. The triple-double stuff, I don't. But the one thing you said is that it's tough for him to win. And that drive, that tenacity he plays with tends to linger into that 1 minute mark of games where he's taking those bad shots or he has bad turnovers. In clutch situations, he needs somebody else to rely on. He's not the dog when it comes to those times. So all the rest of the 7 minutes of the game, outside of that last one, he's a hell of an all-star player, Hall of Fame player. But in that last minute, he makes so many questionable decisions, it does cost him a lot of games.
You guys let me know when you're done with NBA. I don't know anything. I know who he is. No, it's fine. Hey, it's good stuff.
My bad. When it gets to hoop, man, it's like, it's kind of like these fantasy teams and talking NFL lines, man. Once you get on one side of it, you got to plant a flag because it ain't no going back.
NFL. Yeah. Speaking of NFL lines, we got about 10 minutes left to talk, though.
Let's do it.
I want to start with a game that is impossible for me to figure out. Cincinnati, New Orleans. There's just some games you look at. I'm like, nah, don't have a feel for it at all. I'm staying away. It's Cincinnati -2. They're -130. The over-under is 43. Justin, you're wearing a Cincinnati hat. Why don't you take this one?
I'm not in Cincinnati. I'm in Sacramento, California. This is just a nice hat, bro. Sometimes you just got to rock the hat. Nice hat. But
are you from Sacramento?
From Sacramento, born and raised. So I've been out here in NorCal my entire life, man. I'm a Niner fan, Laker fan, and 49ers, baby. You see all the stuff in the back. So those are the squads.
Oh, then forget about the Cincinnati game. Let's talk 49ers then, because I find that one a little more interesting anyway.
Yeah, the Niner game, man, against the Falcons, and this Falcons team is just, they played a lot of teams tough, and we're going to see Kyle Pitts return. I don't think they're a very good football team, but it's just for whatever reason they seem to hang around in games. I think this Niner team proved last week in Carolina that they're back. Jimmy isn't, he's got acclimated again. The rust is off. He looked pretty good last week, and then the run game is going to be the focus of this offense. Tyrion Davis-Price is on his way back. Elijah Mitchell in a couple weeks. I think we see a lot of what we've been seeing out this team, and that's going to be some dominating run football and some defense. So the total right now is sitting at 44.5. Last week I had the under on 39.5, and they destroyed that. Niners and Carolina destroyed that. I'm going to roll with the under again. They stayed on the East Coast, so to me, I'm going to roll with the under. Niners take care of business at home. The 5.5, I'm not really feeling that line.
Are you like Jeff Wilson, who I remember like when he was, it was Jeff Wilson, Tyrion Davis-Price, or like Jordan Mason, I think was the third guy. Now Tevin Coleman's in the mix. But you look at Jeff Wilson, you're like, man, he had like 17 carries, 18 carries. He's getting a lot of work. What's his long-term prospect for you? Like when everything shakes out, like let's say by Thanksgiving, what's this going to look like?
It's a committee, and we've seen him in this role before, and there's a reason that Tevin Coleman now is even getting carries, because I don't think Shanahan fully trusts him to carry the workload throughout the rest of the season. So if I had Jeff Wilson in fantasy football, I would know that there's a 2-week timeline before Elijah Mitchell gets back, and this becomes a full-on committee approach. So I have no interest in this Niners backfield. The one running back I did like early on was Tyrion Davis-Price. If he had caught fire, I think he would have been doing the same thing and able to stay healthy, of course. I think we would have been seeing a lot of what Jeff Wilson's doing right now for this team. But this is going to be a committee approach. Jeff Wilson is now going to tear down and be the running back too. I think Elijah Mitchell has the opportunity to take over as a starter, but it doesn't mean much in fantasy because they don't use them a lot in the red zone. So to me, full on committee in San Francisco, I'm staying away.
Hey, we got a question from Jay Wolf. I don't think that's our guy Jake Wolf, do you? Well, Jake the intern? Well, that'd be pretty cool, right?
It's one of my favorite people in the world.
Hey,
there you go, my man,
Jake. Jake Wolf. Hey, Justin, we got a question from Jake Wolf, who is a very cool guy, actually. I think he's got a WNBA model. Like that's
he does.
Yeah,
he does.
Yes. Good dude. And now he's buttering up, so maybe we won't answer his question. But anyway, he needs one super flex from Jimmy G, Jameis, and PJ Walker. Justin.
This is a tough one right here because I want to say PJ Walker because I think this is a win-one. I think this is a cover one for the Gipper week. But
PJ Walker's Gipper is Matt Rule, though. That was his head coach at Temple.
Man. To me, when I look at these, I look at these in safe, risky options, right? It depends on your team. A lot of times, if you need a win, you need to, or if you're down, your opponent has more, projected points than you. Sometimes you got to play a Hail Mary approach, right? And then there's also the safe approach if you have pretty even teams or a better team. So in that super flex spot, Jimmy G is the safe play. That's if you need 15 points, rock solid. He's going to get around 15 points. Not a whole lot of upside to me with Jimmy G. PJ Walker is the upside play there, right? Jameis is expected. He got through a limited work today. But you know what we've seen what the Saints team do. They're so sporadic. Taysom Hill with 4 touchdowns last week. They're going to use him in the red zone. Kamara's back. We don't know what this receiving core is going to look like on Sunday. So to me, PJ Walker is the ultimate low floor, high ceiling type play. So just know if you put him in your lineup, there's some risk there. I would play Jimmy G. That would be my play.
Yeah, I probably would go with Garoppolo as well. I do like Atlanta this weekend, but I think Jimmy G, like Justin said, that's the safe bet right there. That's the player with the good floor. Let's go Baltimore and New York this weekend. I like the Giants in this spot right here not to win the game, but to cover the number. I think they can make the game close. But I've noticed the Giants like to do. The Giants will attach themselves to a team in the first half, and then they'll push through in the second half. And we've seen Baltimore be the reverse. Baltimore come out hot, and then Baltimore dies in the second half of games. And this is a perfect scenario for the Giants. I think they get an easy cover, and I would sprinkle the money line.
Yeah, also often emotional win too there against the Ravens. The Ravens often emotional win to me. I like the Giants to cover in this spot. And they've been playing some really good football under Brian Daboll. To me, it just feels like this team, everybody's counting them out, and here they are sitting at 4-1. So they're not the greatest team in the world, but for whatever reason, this team believes in the coach's approach, and they are putting things out on the field, man, beating teams. So I don't know if that travel affects them this week coming back from London, but give me the Giants +6 at home.
Can you imagine coming off? And look, I don't know Joe Judge. Maybe he's a great guy. Maybe he was a good coach and just kind of like destroyed by the media. But the stuff you heard about him trying to like overdo the Coughlin angle of being tough and then kind of like, not backing it up. And like I remember like a couple of our writers, The Athletic, I think Dan Duggan wrote it a couple times, like his super long, like 12-minute long answer to a question about like, hey, what went wrong today? And he just like went on and like, imagine what he must have been saying in the locker room and like these rah-rah speeches that you see the dudes handing the balls out with Joe Judge. I mean, like, again, we aren't there. We don't know. But I mean, they're responding to Daboll, like you say. And I wonder how much of that plays into like, how much of it is the Urban Meyer factor? Like with this guy, man, with something else.
Yeah,
we're just happy to have you. Yeah. Please just be normal. That's all we ask.
It's just,
I wonder how much of that.
You can see that just the winning culture is there. Like the guys believe there's a lot of confidence, even when things are looking bleak for this Giants team. They're losing all the receivers, a lot of injuries. There's just a confidence that's coming out of this team that's carrying them to win. So I think even if they don't win this game against the Ravens, it's a good spot for them to cover. But I could actually see them winning this game outright as well.
Corey, could the Magic run out though? Could this be like 39-6? Ravens?
No, I don't. The Ravens not going to score 39 points. It's just that's not the way the Ravens are playing football right now. The Ravens need to put Lamar in the center and shake that offense up and really see how much he can flourish. Big one in Kansas City this week. First time ever Patrick Mahomes has been a home underdog. Buffalo. This number was opened up at I saw 3s. This number is now down to 2.5. I love the Bills in this spot right here. As a matter of fact, I'm not betting against the Buffalo Bills no more this season. I don't think it's a spot to go against the Bills. And not this one right here. I like the Bills to go into Kansas City and get them this weekend.
Justin, where are you on that?
I'm on the opposite side. I think Kansas City is being disrespected at home. To me, this line doesn't seem right. It seems like they're playing into a lot of the narratives as Bills going to the Super Bowl and the comeback story. to me, I like what the Chiefs have done. They persevered in a lot of these games as well. They've been in some close ones, closer than they should be, and then they found a way to come from behind. They've found a way to win close games. And to me, it seems like they're proving that they can win this without Tyreek. They can be dangerous offensively, and the defense has also stepped up as well. So I look at this total, though. I look at this total 54 right now. I can see this over. I know everybody's the public's probably going to be all over the over, but to me, it does scream over in this game to me. So I like the over more than I like playing aside.
I don't like. I kind of look at it like week 1 against the Rams. I think it'd be a similar type game to that. I would back the under in it. I think Buffalo is the team that does the majority of the scoring. I think it's a 2-touchdown win for Buffalo.
By the way, if you're watching and you like what you're seeing from Justin, like he's running our social media and our TikTok. Right? Are you running all social media?
No. So I'm just creating content for the social media. We're getting started. This is my first appearance on BSN, and you've seen, I think there's 1, maybe 2 TikToks out right now on social media, but there's going to be a lot more. So make sure you guys follow the page. Bettor Network on all social media platforms. You'll be seeing all different types of content, some funny, informative, some recap stuff, but basically, man, TikTok is just a fun platform. I'm gonna have some fun with you guys on there.
Are you are you planning out like right now? Like, do you know like what the next 5 or 6 are going to be, or are you just going to like?
Oh no, man!
TikTok
is too much of a what's going on now platform. If you try to plan out 3 weeks from now, the news is already too old. So for me, it's a lot of reactionary stuff, a lot of what's going on today. So I'll probably be, over the weekend, I'm sure there will be some content about what happened over the weekend. But it's a lot of, if you don't get it out on TikTok within the day, it's old news.
How about Halloween? We have some Halloween themed stuff.
That might be a little trick or treat action. We might have to do that.
All right, okay, cool. Corey, remember that? We used to do that on our old show.
We used to have we went trick or treating, dress up or whatever. Yeah, good times. You know what I'm saying? We had good times. Have made some good work. You know what I'm saying? So, but not definitely check Justin out. You know what I'm saying? And over there on the Bettor Network social media accounts, and good talking to you and good having you on the show. You know what I'm saying? Definitely glad to have you as a part of the team, despite you being a San Francisco 49er fan.
Oh, what's your team, man? I love to be part of the team.
I gotta know what your team is first
before I start aligning sides up.
Do you want to hear his team? Corey, who's going to win the Philly Cowboys game Sunday night?
America's going to win.
Oh, no.
America's going to win. That's who's going to win. America's going to win.
Justin, can you guess his team yet?
Oh, my gosh. Here we go. We don't have to do a whole episode on Cowboys Niners.
My team is America. That's who my team is, America.
All right. I'm not going to extend this show another 5 hours talking about it.
We got to end this show. Well, actually, no, wait. We got 2 minutes left. Well, let's let you go, Justin, so you don't get caught up in this firestorm of us trying to end the show on time, which we kind of get very close to every week.
No, I appreciate you guys having me on. Love to come back whenever you guys will have me, and appreciated the conversation, guys.
Thanks, man. Good luck with all the TikTok stuff, man.
Absolutely.
Looking forward to it. As long as it's posted on Twitter, that is.
Yeah, and everybody
I'll be watching.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
As long as it's on our Instagram. Oh man, I started the show $113 richer. So
I hope Justin Fields pays off for you tonight. While you snatch up those Justin Fields, let me go get some Carson Wentz shares on Jock Market. Carson Wentz on Jock Market. Be a winner on Jock Market tonight. Carson Wentz. You can still use promo code FRIENDS. Tell them the fantasy executive sent you, and then you'll have a little extra beer money for the weekend.
I was going to say, you don't have to use the Playbooks code. You can use ours. Let them know. Yeah. Let them know where you really came from.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Friends is still promo code FRIENDS still active. Don't give Adam Ronis nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you should check them out. They're up next. They'll bring you into the game. They'll ease you into the Thursday night game. We gotta go. We'll be back tomorrow. Good times will be had by all. I don't think we have a guest or anything yet. It's just gonna be us. Unless we come up with some overnight.
Somebody from state to come on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Thanks a lot to Justin Henry. Thanks to Aaron Tohill. We'll see you later.